My doctor had known that I had lived in Poland for 15 years. So we had a gentleman come in his 30s, and he was Polish, and she asked me if I would see him and warned me that he was sort of far along.
Because of the depression and the fear of the stigma that comes along with HIV, I decided to deal with it alone. And I didn't tell anybody, I didn't connect to any services. I pretty much just ignored it and tried to continue on with my life the way it was. Well, that didn't work out so good. That plan wasn't so effective.
I bonded with him for what ended up being the last 6 weeks of his life, and actually was there with him when he died, holding his hand. And you just couldn't. The only thing that went through my mind was that, how can this be happening in 2011 at that point?
I was actually incarcerated in a state prison, and I was at a point in my life where I could no longer ignore or run from treating my illness.
My passion to educate people, I'm very big on hopefully humanizing the face of HIV and eradicating stigma. I believe that that's really one of the key barriers to prevention, because there's so much stigma tied to HIV. People don't want to get tested, and even when they do get tested, they don't want to get linked to care because, maybe they don't want to go to this building because people are going to know. And I really, HIV can affect anybody.
I got involved just because I did have the time at one point, and after I did, I just saw the importance, and I saw what even one person can do.
I was referred to that particular organization, and they kind of equipped me with the tools to become the person I've become today.
The case manager is a very important person, a very important piece of this puzzle.
I'm not just a case manager, but I'm a good friend, I'm a confidant. And so having to leave was a challenge for both me and my clients.
Governor Quinn may not know that these services are critical to the lives of people living with HIV, but they're also critical to the community and the state at large.
Funding for prevention and care is a system. And when you think of something that's a system with components and parts, think of a camcorder or think of a phone. You have half of a camcorder or half of a phone, you might as well have nothing because it doesn't function.
They look at some papers and it might be just numbers. But what it really is this is life or death. This is, will this person live? Will this person die?
Without the state-funded services, I would not have been able to get off the street, first of all. I would not have been able to access the mental health care that I needed in order to become healthy enough again to work.
I helped them get on track, so helping them find jobs, helping find housing, helping reconnect with their families, especially some of them who have been incarcerated for 7 years. I have a gentleman who was incarcerated for 30 years, coming out positive, and just trying to get them educated and acclimated and involved in care. That's what I do.
State-funded services has helped me raise my kids. I have a son that's now in college, my son that was with me at that point. If I had not had those services, if I had not gotten any of that help, which all of that help was state-funded, if I had not gotten any of that, my son would probably be incarcerated right now.
All of the parts of this HIV prevention and care system are critical to making sure that all of it functions.
When we cut housing services, when we cut mental health, when we cut, HIV testing funds, it saves money for a very short period of time, but on the backside, you're going to spend 3 times as much because people are going to be utilizing emergency services. There's going to be more arrests. There's going to be, so much more that I don't think people really think about.
Austin has one of the largest HIV rates and it has one of the highest reentry rates. In the Austin community, the resources are very scarce. Trying to get more resources, more education, more things to the people is vital. Keeping me on board can help that community, that devastated community, build back up into a healthy community.
Knowing that I could reach out to my representative or my senator and get a message to them is just very important and very vital, and I'm very lucky that I'm able to do that.
So call your legislators, visit your legislators, email your legislators, Facebook message your legislators, do whatever you can to get involved, because if these budget cuts take place, they will affect everyone.
Because I guarantee you, whether it's HIV, cancer, education, all of your community institutions are being gravely affected by budget cuts this year in the proposed governor's proposed budget.